Hello, hello. All right. We are live. All right. Those on YouTube, welcome to another painting stream. We're going to continue painting the Vanguard. Let's see. So, recently finished this guy, and there's actually going to be right after this stream. So, for those on YouTube, you probably already see it. A tutorial on how to paint his pauldron, which is effectively the same system I used for all the feathers on him. So that'll be that. This light is still too bright, even though I dimmed it. Fine. Yes. If you're wondering how I make that blue, then just head on to, well, if you're on YouTube, you should already see it in the video thing, or head to my Instagram. We're going to be continuing painting this guy, which I was working on last stream. I have to drop focus a little bit. Was working on this guy last stream. I finished the jump pack over the weekend and began working on his arm, so I was kind of jumping between them as stuff was drying. I'm thinking we're going to focus on the lightning claw, as I kind of want to make another tutorial video, but this time on how I make the claws later. In fact, I was actually intending originally on expanding the music selection for the stream earlier, and instead I ended up making that tutorial. We're up to like 15 minutes before the stream. And, I mean, I finished it, just didn't get to posting it, so that'll go up after. Before we get to the claws themselves, though, so I have a fair bit to do on the rest. Where's my focus point? There. No, actually, yeah, I do want to pull that in. Decent bit. Pull that into, like, there? Yeah, that seems good. So, I'm thinking, well, the feather there is probably the last thing that I need. Oh no, the feather in the wire. Let me do the feather in the wire first. I get all the base colors on here. I immediately get paint on myself. Currently using is Army Painter Matte Black to paint this. Mostly just leftover stuff from yesterday on my palette. One of the many perks of a wet palette. Really don't care to get black on the corvidae next to the feather. Really trying here. So how's everyone doing? How was your weekend? And are you hobbying anything right now? There we go. Now I'm going to switch to the red just so I can have all the base colors done, and then I'll adjust it from there. Probably handle the bone effects next, because one of their dry brushing steps overlaps with the feather. I can just nail all of that like pretty quick. Get some corn red. You know what? Even though I've got 5 more of these Vanguard vets to do, I'm pretty sure all the rest have the old pattern of the old pattern of lightning claw. I'm not gonna have to do any more of these giant wires, I don't think. Like the pattern where the claw comes right out of the finger. It'll be an interesting change of pace when I get to them. Which, if stuff goes like fluidly, might be tonight or probably tomorrow at latest. At some point tomorrow. I can see between 2 4-hour streams, I can definitely have both these arms done. Which will also get me my Instagram pics for Wednesday and Friday. Depending on my energy level, I'll try to take pictures of that late tonight or early tomorrow. If it's done by then. Just trying to figure out if I can get a lighting situation where I can get the mostly blacked out background and kind of dirty, not dirty, but like shadowed look I've been using lately, and still be able to catch all the details. I haven't quite figured out how to balance that quite right. I do like the very artistic look of my current setup, if nothing else. Just, it does running legs, lower halves like no justice. And sometimes darker details in the chest just kind of disappear as well. That's fine. It's okay. Alright, that's the wire, and I'm kind of feeling like just doing the entire wire like really quick, because it's only 3 steps total. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, that's just completely done, then I'll move on to the bone. Well, actually, the bone one will take a while to dry. Yeah, you know, yeah, I'll put the skeletal horde contrast on the Crux Terminatus and the Corvidae. And then while it's drying, I'll wrap up the wire, because the last step in the wire is just it drying as well, so why jump from one thing drying to another thing that's gotta dry? Doesn't make any sense. I grabbed a lot of contrast for this. Maybe a little darker than I intended. Especially that left one. Left spoke? I don't know. Left segment? That's I believe technically correct. Oh yeah, I need to go back and paint this Corvidae's beak black. Oh, speaking of painting it black, the feather is missing an entire edge. Still white. I'm also remembering I forgot to post on my Discord server that I'm live. I should probably do that. Alright, well, that's drying. Rinse off my brush. Give me 1 minute. Alright, only 12 minutes late on that, but it's fine. Okay, so, yeah, let's get the, nah, well, we're gonna do the wire, okay? Get this wire done. It's, Wild Rider Red. Don't need a lot of it. We're just gonna get all the raised areas. It's looking pretty good. And we're gonna top coat this wire with red ink, which will raise the saturation and brightness on the base coat and soften and blend in the highlight. So I use Vallejo Game Ink Red. Pop a little on the palette. Alright, it seems pretty good. I also realized there's a few spots I missed in the crux. Fix that, and then I'm gonna grab some black and fix the feather and paint the Corvidae beak. Right there. There. Use a bit more. There. And over here. Alright. They'll be fine after that. Very good. Alright, let's get some more matte black over here. It's a tricky bit, because Corvidae is so small, you don't exactly get an amazing like reference point as to where the beak begins and the skull ends. We're gonna do our best. Seems right. Now I just have to get thick enough to be opaque. This black is suddenly very quickly running out. It's fine, I don't need it for a whole lot. That's basically it right here. What are you talking about? It's a raven skull. Right there in front of you. Oh, yeah. Pull the focus in a little bit. Bird. A white raven? Yeah, it's the veteran colors, remember? Actually, to be completely honest, GW still has not told us an official canon reason as to who and why gets to paint their arms white. like literally, between all the codexes, supplements, Vanguard novels, other lore references, we still don't have a concrete reason as to why some paint their arms white and who gets to and for what reasons. Like, it's not all officers, because not all officers have white arms, and it's not all specialists, because not all specialists have white arms. It's not all veterans, because not all of those either. There are a couple Vanguard rituals that are mentioned, but none of them getting linked to... There's some theories, but none of them are linked to the white arms. What's the next step? Oh yeah, I gotta dry brush Tyrant Skull. How you doing, Justin? Are you streaming today? I figured you might be. Yes. Good. When are you streaming? If it's between my streams, I might pop in. Night? Well, I mean, that could mean anything. Give me and the viewers a time. I'm not sure why I'm channeling just a little bit of Cartman, but it's just kind of happening. Around 9? Okay. Around 9 Eastern. Hobby Haven RI will be streaming. There you go. Now the one other person in the chat like knows that, and anyone watching my YouTube video, like in the future, like way after your stream. What are you doing on stream? You painting or modeling or getting a game going? I mean, I know around 9 I'm gonna be here painting more Vanguard, just building my pile shame. Cool, cool. Oh, I'm gonna have a after this stream, so you know, by 6 o'clock, unless something pops up, I'm gonna be having a tutorial upload for this guy's Pauldron. A nice minute 30 sped up tutorial on how I did that, because Eastern Fox was asking earlier. I don't know if you saw that. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Eastern Fox. It was someone on my Instagram. Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of questions about that Pauldron today. Anyway, I don't know why I thought it was Eastern Fox. He asked me about the shields. That's what it was. Anyway, point is, tutorial is going up later. I'll be sure to toss it in the Discord. Did I tell you, Justin, about my whole thought about potentially swapping out all these shields for a librarian? Actually, it would be all my Vanguard vet shields for a second claw, and then an apothecary, and instead get a librarian for the tournament list. Did I talk to you about that? Okay, so I went through this whole thing. Oh yeah, I think it was only over the weekend. Or like, well no, I know I talked about it on stream. I'm guessing on Friday then, seeing it's Monday. And I was going over it again and again all weekend. I was thinking, oh, with Armor Contempt... Yeah. Hold on. Hydration. With Armor of Contempt, I will eventually say this word. With Armor of Contempt being a thing now, I got a Jump Pack Librarian and gave him Psychic Fortress, right? I could give them all 5 up, and against things with AP, then they have effectively 2 up anyway. So I was like going through the logistics of that and be like, well, the apothecary thing I'm bringing would have to go, and then like, you know, but I would get 10 more attacks out of the Vanguard vets. But then I did some more jostling stuff around and found that instead of doing that, as interesting as that would be, that oh yeah, this is Praxity White, so I should dry brush the feather with this too, and the beak. Instead, upgrade the... keep the shields on the Vanguard vets. Upgrade the apothecary, the chief apothecary, and give him selfless healer. So with my few CP I'm gonna have, I am not using them on reses. And I can heal two models a turn, and give my eradicators the heavy melter rifles. And then I hit exactly 2,000 points with that, which I was sitting at like 1995 before that. That actually kind of worked out. Yeah, it was a whole thing, really racking my brain as to like how much value do I think I'm gonna get out of an apothecary, considering my list. But actually, like, the more I think about it, even if I have to advance the apothecary constantly to get where it needs to go, as best I can tell, that doesn't disrupt him doing his healing. So that's actually pretty nice. There is still a point on that Crux that did not get Skeletal Horde, or the Skeletal Horde just like left it. Just like, no, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go elsewhere. Just moving on at this point. I'm done with that nonsense. I was also thinking about potentially swapping out all the Lightning Claws for Thunder Hammers, and then realized then I'd have to paint a bunch of Thunder Hammers, and I don't think I have that many Thunder Hammers. Not to mention the points involved. I mean, the Vanguard vets would hit way harder against bigger stuff. But I have a lot of bonuses already on them. Like, what would be the major difference? They'd be hitting on, like with Exhortation of Rage, they'd be hitting on Strength 9. I don't even know if I'd bother, well, now there is a lot more Toughness 8 stuff these days. That might be too blue for that beak. I might pop a little bit Nola on that later. You know what, yeah, I'm gonna let that dry and then pop no oil on like basically everything. All the metal and like both metals and beak, I think. So I'm waiting for the ink to dry properly. I'm gonna do the little strap things holding the Corvidae on. If you're still there, Justin, as I know someone jumped out of stream. What are your thoughts on all that with the apothecary and stuff? If you have any. There's all my timers at once. It's been an hour. No, a half hour. Did I have something set for like 45 minutes? Oh wait, the thing's been going in the background for a while. I have timers in a merch store now, and more stuff showing where to find me. It's just my commands are still broken. It was great. Still don't know why. I've done what the support people told me to do. It has not functioned. What am I looking for? Probably Mornfang Brown, I'm thinking. You need to figure out a way for not all the timers going off at like the same time almost ever. Just give them like really weird arbitrary time limits on them. This seems like a little on the ridiculous side for all of them to be going off. I gotta lower this. This is... Okay, too much. Overcorrection. There we go. Yes, I think Justin left me. That's fine. We don't need him. We're gonna have our own party. With blackjack and hookers. Problem is, all the blackjack players are from Thousand Suns, and the hookers are, well, their home business address is Kamara. I have my concerns. Ooh. Alright. Yeah, that's a very vibrant beak, dear god. That's a bit much. I'll toss a low Rakar flesh on the straps, and then some Agrax earth flesh, and then we're gonna noodle a whole bunch of stuff. Cool. Alright, so Nuln Oil, let's go. Hey, I can't stop yawning all of a sudden. Oh, great. Stream's it. It's still early in the stream. Can't be tired now. Of almost the entire stream to go. 3.5 hours. Gotta get up in the armpit here. The soft seals up in yonder. There we go, and this little bit of the elbow gap. Very cool. trying to get right at the base of the wire here to kind of shade in that connection point. Like, semi-realistically. I don't want to go too far up it. I'm also trying to avoid getting any known oil on the white anywhere I don't want it to be, because man, known oil is very staining. It's difficult to fix. Oh, and there's this whole actually I'll get a lot of the excess off, like so. Let me get in here. For this connection ring. Sweet. Oh, that's annoying. I let it pool and make a mark. Maybe I can rub it out. Rub something out anyway. There we go. Now this bronze, I'm gonna try to be very delicate here. I just kind of want the recesses darkened, although I may have to a different brush maybe. No, I'm kind of getting the result I want. Put a whole bunch in the eye sockets. This would be easy with my size 0, but it's fine. Still managed to get some non oil on the white. Oh well. Oh yes, non oil for this beak. I need it darkened. I still want some blue visible, but it's not a blue beak. Alright, cool. Next, I'm looking at some plate mail metal. Army painter. I use for the edge highlighting for all this metal stuff. Where is... oh, here. Which of these is my newer size 0? I'll say this one's been holding its shape out. You know, it's probably just because I woke up like hours earlier than I normally do. Couldn't really go back to sleep. Just decided to get up and go about my day. Was nice for putting that tutorial together, but man, I don't even know how I'm gonna get through my second stream. I already feel tired starting my first one. Like, jeez. Alright, fun part. Little bolts. That one. Oh, I forgot to tell Justin about my new emote. My first emote is just type in moist. It's funny. Yeah, the armpit highlights are probably entirely unnecessary, but mine took a second, and who knows. Alright, I'm about to change the music entirely. Because this is frankly putting me to sleep. See how this goes. It's just the Epidemic Sound electronica and dance playlists. We'll let that play for a while and see what we think about it. Alright, so I think we need just some gold on the bronze to highlight it, and then we move on to the white armor and then the claws. Very good. Some war paints, 3D gold. I am thinking about the 2-hour mark. Trying to switch back to the Warhammer category. See what happens. Just being in the art category is a complete experiment. And it may have something to do with how quiet it is in here. Maybe. There we go. How's that look? Pretty solid. Gold dot. Gold dots. I really can't talk today. I don't know. Gold dot on that iron halo. Right there. Alrighty. Yeah, the beak looks a lot more reasonable. Like it's got like a little blue sheen highlight going on there, but it's very clearly black. Alright, white armor. Got path carry white contrast. I'm just doing a broad shade on the major recesses. I'm thinking I'm not going to do it to the crux. I'm just going to do the more narrow one later. I'm going to come at this one from an angle. I want the shade to overpower. That's like the crux terminus. I'm gonna do the same with the designs on the back of the hand here. Alright. This track is pretty funky. Got this like decent dance thing and then also like a semi-horror like ambiance behind it. Or like a creepy ambiance. Kinda nuts, man. Alright, I lied. I'm gonna try jumping in the Warhammer now. because I just realized I'm also looking at a lot of the British streamers wrapping up soon. I should probably get in there and try to pick that up. Maybe, maybe in the nighttime ones I'll try putting those in art. This Warhammer usually gets pretty thin around nighttime East Coast time. Alright. So, right, narrow shader is a 2-1-1 Apothecary White, Black Templar, Lamian medium mix. Hey Borak, how you doing, man? How I am doing is just fine. I am painting the Lightning Claw Gauntlet of another Vanguard vet. We got this guy, which I did most of this on stream, but I finished the jump pack over the weekend and started these arms, which I might have to do a tutorial on how I did the flashes. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on cam. Doing good, chilling after work, trying not to melt. Too warm here for me. I mean, I hear ya. Today it's not that warm here, it's just really humid, even with a dehumidifier going on like right behind me. Oh, thanks, man. Alright, what was I doing? Ah, yes. Narrow shader. You gonna try to brave the heat and get some hobbying in, or you're just gonna veg? All good either way, just curious. This veg, I think, been a stressful day of work. Don't feel like ruining a mini on time. Oh, come on, man. Ruining a mini? I doubt it. Gonna press X to doubt on that one. But no, I hear you. Totally cool. Always welcome, just hang out. Oh yeah. After I had Dragus, my throat just decided to just split in pieces. So, I was getting questions on Instagram about the Pauldron here. So I actually threw together a minute 30 tutorial earlier. I finished it right before the stream, so we'll actually get uploaded right after the stream in about 3-ish hours. So, if you don't already follow either my YouTube or my Instagram, you can use the link tree, which will pop up eventually from the timer, and get in on that in case you're interested. I'm gonna have a lot more tutorials on both those platforms. They have a couple each already, like how I do my white armor in detail, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, how I do power swords. Like, panned this power sword, actually, for the tutorial. I got your Insta, I'll go find your tube now, I thank you kindly. Also, great to hear you already have my Instagram. Where all this actually began was on Instagram. I just wanted someone to post my painting stuff, like a couple years ago now. So I made an Instagram, never even like looked at Instagram before that. I just knew it was like the go-to platform for posting pics. Now it sometimes blows my mind. I'm sitting at like 1,500 followers. Like that's nuts. Follows inbound. Thank you kindly. I always appreciate follows anywhere. So there's a caveat, my Facebook page is still broken. Facebook sucks. Doesn't want to help me fix it. It's very frustrating because I used to get a lot of activity from the various Facebook groups I would post on. I haven't posted on any of them in like over a month because I can't actually use my Facebook page, and it feels really crappy to start over, and I can't even use my original name because the name still exists on the other thing. That's fair. I mean, at least where I am, Facebook is like the #1 social media everyone uses, so like that's how I keep in touch with everybody in like that I know in real life through Facebook. Had that Facebook since I was like 14. So, you know, only a 14-year-old account. There's no history on there or anything. Nothing to worry about. Alright, that's the pauldron. Looks pretty good. Yes. A little cleanup there later, not a big deal. Let's try to get up and find this elbow joint. That kind of worked. More or less. While I do this specific step, the angles are going to be pretty weird as I try to get into some very tight spots. Oh yeah, I'm using it's a featured playlist on Epidemic Sound, not my tailored one, just to mix things up. So we are both on a musical adventure today. Oh, I forgot to put some apothecary white there. Oh, hold on. I think when I get to my Storm Raven, I'm starting to plan out some freehand ideas in there. I really want a hobby, but my eyes feel like they're full of sand after staring at surface mount electronic boards all day. That doesn't sound fun. You could try just building stuff. You got some pile of shame, you just want to like cut and glue together. You don't even have to necessarily clean them up, just get them, you know, combat ready. That's what I used to do. When I was really tired, but I had an opportunity to hobby, and like I always felt like I couldn't waste, and it was usually super late at night, so sometimes I would just put stuff together. Those were not fun days. Back when I was with my ex. Whole story there. Jeez, 20 terabytes. Dear God. I don't even have 20 terabytes of storage. Unless that was a typo and it was actually gigabytes. But I mean, jeez. Alright, anyway. Yeah, do that. Print some stuff, because suddenly you got more of a backlog in there than you do in minis. Maybe one day I'll have the energy and will to like fix whatever is wrong with my Ender Pro and start printing up some stuff again. It's hard because what I want to print is I need to use my resin printer for, but I can't actually physically use my resin printer where I am because I don't have enough ventilation. So I just get fumed out of my room for like 8 hours. That's all I got out of it the first time or the one time I used it since I moved here. So I haven't had the resources or time to like set up a proper, set up like an enclosed vent system. The one tiny window I have access to. Yeah, the fumes can be bad, yeah. In the room I had when I got it, I had 2 windows on my cornered walls at the corner of the house, so like I could usually get a pretty good cross breeze on a nice day with a little, with a little bit of wind, so I could vent out very efficiently. But here I am in a basement with one little like foot by foot slider window, so that doesn't work. And when the one time I tried it, it wasn't because I forgot about the fumes, it's because I just didn't know how long it would sit around, and I had a mask, so tried that for a little while and then realized, wow, this really is just not letting up. So I guess I'm gonna go upstairs and just wait and hope it clears out before I'd like to go to bed. It was a fun day, let me tell you. Yeah, I didn't make that mistake again. Commander Pro has some weird fan problem. I bought some fans a while ago, but I've not had the will to actually go and like try to repair it when I don't have anything plastic that I'm really itching to print up. Like, I guess terrain, but like I don't even host my own games here, so not huge. Like, I could use them for photo shoots, like, which would be really cool, but yeah, I'd have to fix my printer, fix my printer, realign it, which that could be a whole day in itself, then start printing up some stuff and paint it, which, I mean, using dry brush and washes and stuff wouldn't be too bad in my airbrush. And I could use them for photo shoots. That would be my that'd be my whole thing there. Oh yeah, there we go, timer went off. There's all my links. You just follow that one. Including, as of this weekend, now a fully operational merch store with merches of my own design. I actually made like over the winter for like a different but still gaming brand, and now I've just merged the two because the other one wasn't doing anything. And I've got some ideas for more stuff, just haven't made them yet. So many ideas, so little time. Short term and long term. This shade job right now is gone from like okay to questionable. It's not an easy area around these right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna like stop on that. And get a little up here. Right at the base of the blades. So many busts and D&D stuff to print, just time motivation to do it all. Yeah, I hear you. It's basically where I said, like, all my D&D playing is online. I use Discord and Roll20. I got 2 games on Sundays, so I don't need any stuff for that. And I've got so much stuff to paint that, like, I don't actually feel the need to add busts to it anytime soon. Especially, like, if I wait till the time where I catch up on my paint, on, my 40K painting, both commissions and my own stuff. I'd be way better prepared to do like busts, because I still, oh thanks, I I still don't think I'm quite at the level where I could do busts proper justice. I guess it's partially just because I've been seeing a lot of amazing bust work lately. Like, winning on a couple painting competitions the last couple months, and like the winners, they were busts. Like, just these, just eye-wateringly good busts. Like, true art, if you will, because it actually gave you like a serious emotional reaction seeing these things. But anyway, my painting insecurity aside, even though that realistically I'm probably in the top 60, I mean top 40 to 30% of painters anyway. The thing with busts is there is nowhere to hide any bad brush marks or mistakes stand out like a sore thumb. That specifically I'm not too concerned about because I do a lot of cleanup anyway. It's more just like blending and stuff. Blending as smooth as I would want to. Although I suppose I could go with a lot more artsy approach. I'd go with more of a like art direction as opposed to art quality. You know, like with video games where they have like a great art direction, so the graphics don't matter as much. Like Team Fortress 2, for example. Like that game still holds up today because it has nothing to do with graphics, it has everything to do with art direction. Which I want to say it's Bricky that has a great video about that. I know he's talked about before, I just don't remember if he's the one with the video about it, or he was just referencing someone else's video, but yeah, anyway. Go real artsy. I use a lot of oils in my bus, makes blending a breeze. Oils I'm kind of terrified with because they don't fully ever actually dry, which is why blending is great, but like also, oh man. Yeah, they're oils. Alright, so next is first round of highlights. So I gotta get some Corax white, which I need a stronger brush to actually pull out of the pot because it's gone super gammy. Like, not fun gammy. Like, still stuff in there. Oh, hey, Nux. I've run out of gin, but wandered in on oily busts. All good. Yeah, man, oily busts. It's a thing. Only oily busts here. All busts must be like our palettes. And by that, I mean, they need to be moist. I got a new emote. Which, it's literally moist. Moist is the keyword for that emote. Which, I'm not even sure if you can really tell what's going on there. It's a... I didn't take the size as amazing into consideration, but there is a palette underneath that faucet. I'll probably make a new version of that, like, later this week or something. But yeah, I'm kind of terrified of using oil paints for numerous mechanical reasons. Oh hey, I just found like the mixing marble in this horrific pot buried under an archaeology dig's worth of semi-dried goo, also known as paint. I use a thinner called Sandor from W&N. That's not hard to say or anything. They dry within a few minutes, but can be reactivated with Sansador again to remove or blend the paints. Oh, cool. Sansador. Really, is that like Spanish, like Spain Spanish or something? Because it sounds like something like in words, something a conquistador. I can't talk. I don't know why I'm the one streaming right now. I can't speak English or Spanish. Windsor and Newton. Okay, yeah, yeah, I've heard of them. It didn't click. I'm all kinds of screwed up today. Sansador. I don't know why that stuck in my head. How you doing, Nux? I know it's probably Nukes, but I like saying Nux more. I mean, besides like running out of gin, which I mean that's not fun. Closest I ever get to being an angry drunk is when my whiskey runs out. I'm like, no, I'm only like halfway through the night. I wish I had more whiskey, actually. I could really use one of those nights. That is out of my budget currently. Alright, so I've got some 4x weight. Actually start making progress again. Stop messing around. Alright, get this trim done. Oh yeah, earlier I started getting ideas of when I do my Storm Raven, doing some like big freehand mural stuff on it, which will be my first like side of a vehicle mural work. And I had this like great idea and it was all formulating in my head and stuff, and but I was in the shower doing it, and then I get down here and realize, oh yeah, the side of a Storm Raven does not look like the side of a Land Raider. So not exactly gonna work. Was browsing Forge when I came across an Furnace Pattern Predator and figured, please God, have let the galaxy burn rule, but alas, it's bloody Forge world. Yeah, that's usually how that goes. Like, my main 2K list actually decided to dump all its Forge world because the new CP changes. Unless I missed a change about fielding Forge World where you don't have to pay CP for it anymore, but that's not as far as I'm aware. I do remember there was some kind of Forge World rule change recently, but I don't remember what it was. That is also CP sync, yeah. Yep. So my list used to have a Relic Contemptor, Volkites of course, and the missile launcher, and a Relic Sikaran Venator, which I really like, especially in the fact that, like, on a good shooting phase, it can pop. It can pop rhinos, it can pop hammerheads, it can pop dreadnoughts even. Like it is actually one shot a what do you call it? A Redemptor before. And that was after the their -1 damage thing or whatever. Because the thing is with the Venator, which is like the big tank destroyer one with the giant like beam cannon in the front of it. Actually, I have it. Oh, it's over here. This is a real old paint job. Oh, I gotta figure out a new system for this light and camera setup because every time I move my chair, it messes it up. I gotta redo a lot of this. I painted this pretty early. This is the Sikaran. Oh, can't get it to. Oh yeah, I gotta change the focus. Let me change this to auto. There we go. That's the Sikaran. And that gun is like strength 12. It's heavy 3, strength 12, neg like 4 or 5. And then if it's D6 damage, but if you didn't move that turn, it's flat 6 damage. So that thing can pop out. Oh, and it hits on like 2s or 3s. So that thing can like actually fairly reliably like pop out up to, like, usually it's like 12 damage, but you can pop out 18 damage on a target with that thing. It's just absurd. And then it comes with a heavy bolter standard, and then it can have an additional storm bolter, hunter killer missile launcher, and either 2 heavy bolters or 2 las cannons. So you can throw on like 2 more las cannons on top of that, top of everything else, or have it help you like beat down like hordes with 3 heavy bolters. Yeah, it can kill knights. I've not killed a knight with it just because there's like only 1 knight player in my area, and like I haven't been up to the store a lot lately to like get that game in. Although now I don't even know when that would happen, because it's 1 CP on top of its point cost to field the thing. So now it's just more like eradicators and hellblasters. But yeah, that the vendor's like gross. And that's on top of it being a Sikaran chassis, so it has 2 up armor save. Like already, like before armor contempt, you know, gets involved. Yeah. Yep, I love my vendor. I actually was going to paint that a lot sooner again, but then the CP changes like changed that. Like after I painted the land speeder, I really thought I was gonna paint the vendor, and then no, I just screwed up my shade. That's annoying. Did Borak leave to go print stuff? I think he might have. That's fine. Fine. Leave me anyway. Yeah, actually that vendor once nuked Bellicor. Not in a single turn, but man, it did help. Trying to also figure out how to equip my Chaos Lord for Red Corsairs, either Maelstrom's Bite or Dual Chainswords, Biker and Legends, but I have no idea. What's Maelstrom's Bite do? And why are we listening to rain? Gonna skip this track. Yeah, it's literally drain pipe looping in the rain. No. Introversion? That seems more appropriate. Can't find a net pick. Give me a sec. Sure. I shall wait. I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere. I still have another 2.5 hours of stream, and holy crap, am I hungry all of a sudden. Like, I could go for all the food. That's good. I'm trying to get a bit more accustomed to being hungry a bit more as part of my trying to lose weight and stuff, which I've been pretty successful at. Now I'm just trying to drop fat specifically in specific like trouble areas, giving me a hard time. What is wrong with my throat today? Blah. Blah. Okay.
I leave the TV
Oh, this is a cute track. I like this. What's the name of that play emote?
He's a vagabond, he won't love you better. I can watch you sinking down on the bottom.
Oh, I do have to add these to the channel. Oh, I'm gonna do that real quick because there's a couple obvious ones I'd like in there.
You've been crying over him for a lifetime. So if you don't mind, we will dance till
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Fine.
we can fly with the baseline. I know. Boys be boys, ain't no excuse, babe. Now hey you, oh hey you. I know you can find someone better. Oh hey you, oh hey you.
Okay, I'm just taking a minute to add a few like obvious meme emotes because I didn't realize my setup was lacking these a little bit. I wanted one in particular, like right now. While I missed a bunch of this track, that was the reason for it. Hold on, I'm starting this track over. I think I'm gonna add this to the actual, like the main playlist. Except the button won't work. Can you click it off to the right like most of these buttons? Nope. Okay. Cool. Oh wait, maybe if I do that. Nope. I can't add it to my playlist. That's frustrating. Well, anyway. Oh, I might have to reset the stream before any of those emotes. Yeah, before any of those emotes take effect. So next stream, tonight, there'll be a bunch of new emotes. Okay, so Maelstrom's Bite is Melta range. So it's a Melta, range 18, assault 1, strength 9, AP 4, damage d6 plus 2, bolt. Oh, it's a combi Melta. Okay, Bolter range 20. So, oh wow. That or dual chain swords? My man. That combi Melta is gross. You should take the combi Melta. Dear God. That's radically better than dual chain swords. Like, even if stuff tries getting melee with him, just like throw a bunch of whatever you got bodyguarding him, like in between them, and just have him just shoot away. Like, whoa. I think that is fair. I wish I had that combi Melta, because I literally usually run my jump chaplain with a combi Melta, so I can just pop off a Melta Blast before I charge the VV bomb in. Like, strength 9, AP neg 4. It's also assault, so you're not gonna take minuses for movement. So you're hitting on, I'd assume, 2s on the Chaos Lord. That's true, but dual chain swords with Trader's Laurel, 2 chains +1, and Laurels is also another 1 attack. So is it +4 attacks for dual chain swords? Yeah, but they're chain swords, so you're just doing strength 4, neg 1 damage per, right? Unless you can do something to up that. Yeah, like, I mean, compared to, like, Melta Blast, hitting on 2, your strength 9, which means even a toughness 8 like Lehman Russ or Imperial Land Raider or whatever. You're wounding on 3s, AP neg 4, bunch of stuff just now doesn't get armor save, and then damage is minimum 3, maximum 8. Or you're going up against like Horde stuff, and you can just pop off, you know, 2 shots at 12 inches for neg 1 damage too. Which is like threatening Space Marines with that. Like, the gun is absurd. Like, that gun's better than Primarch's Wrath, which is the Codex Space Marine relic bolter. And ours is just a bolter. Go for the bite then. Yeah, hold on. I want to look up what Primarch's Wrath does, real quick. I feel like all of a sudden I'm not even painting at this point, but it's fine. Relics, the stratagems. Primarch's Wrath, 24-inch rapid fire 2, so it's a storm bolter. Strength 5, neg 2, D2. So yeah, it's good against like Space Marines, but you get literally a better version of a Eradicator's heavy melta rifle. Like, let me remind you what a heavy melta rifle is. It's a, let's see if I remember correctly, but I'm gonna pull it up so I'm definitely correct on this. Okay, so an Eradicator's heavy melta rifle is 24-inch, heavy 1, strength 8, neg 4, d6 +2. And, you know, I mean, they have the melta range where it's d6 +4. So, but it's heavy 1. So you can pop your jump pack on the Chaos Lord and just fly around, just melting, you know, whatever you want. Indiscriminate melta. I mean, here's the only like caveat to all of that, right? Is that it's a relic which costs 1 CP now for your for your first one, and it's a weapon. Generally speaking, if you have a relic that does some kind of larger buff or debuff effect, like an AoE or you know, buffing some kind of other units that you can really maximize, you know, force multiplication, that's usually more worth it. Like, say, I know for Space Marines we have Vox Spiritus, which you can only put on the Primaris characters, but it increases their aura effects by 3 inches. Modding as we speak, haha. Very, very good. But, there are not a lot of good relics, like that do like force multiplication stuff. So yeah, if you're gonna get a relic weapon, yeah, I take that over dual chain swords. Unless you have a way of consistently giving yourself +1 strength or +1 to wound, then nah. I mean, we can get to strength 5 and, you know, maybe we can talk, but... Okay, let me throw an idea by you, right? So, 2K Ravenguard list, and it's got a VV bomb in it with Shrike and a Chaplain and 10 VVs. with lightning claws and storm shields, right? It also has a fair bit of troops and like a big block of 10 Hellblasters with assault plasma incinerators and 3 eradicators with heavy melter rifles. Do you think, I mean, I think I know what I'm gonna do, but for second opinions worth. I was thinking about how Armor Contempt makes it somewhat reasonable to ditch the Storm Shields, because against a lot of things you're gonna have 2-up saves anyway. And then for the Invuln, put in a Jump Librarian with Psychic Fortress. Or I could take a Chief Apothecary with Selfless Healer and have him constantly running between like the troops, of which I have 20 troops in this, 10 infiltrators, 10 intercessors in 4 squads. But he's mainly focusing on like the Eradicators and the Hellblasters. So Hellblasters are probably going to come in from Deep Strike, which is going to be a nightmare for whoever ends up on the other side of that. All of a sudden, Deep Struck, like, behind you is 10 Hellblasters with 30 Strength 7, Neg 4, 2 damage shots. Which I'll probably drop them next to Shrike so they can reroll 1s on that. And that sucks. Lord doesn't wield a combi melt to stand replace a gash. Run Psychic Fortress by me again. Psychic Fortress is a, if memory serves, while I pick it up, it's a 6-up, 6-up spell that gives a 5-up Invuln in a 6-inch aura. Yeah, 6-inch aura, friendly chapter units get a 5-up Invuln for a warp charge value of 6. So it would take all of my VVs from a 2-4 to a 3-5 with Armor of Contempt. Yeah, the Hellblaster move is disgusting, but I kind of need it because Raven Guard kind of suck. Also, and it'll be in like turn 2 or turn 3, which means that it's actually going to be neg 5 AP. For all those shots. So, like, unless you have an Invuln, I auto-damage you. You don't get an armor save. For 30 shots. 3 shots per guy. Now, yeah, they can explode, but, like, even doing it at the Strength 6, neg 5, 1 damage is still gonna kill a lot of stuff. Because, again, like, I think, like, most Armor Contempt stuff doesn't even get a save at that point. But yeah, it's the idea of like either the Apothecary to res stuff, especially resing Hellblasters that blow themselves up, or the Eradicators. Not to mention healing the Eradicators because they have Armor Contempt and 3 wounds and Toughness 5 and a giant Melt-A-Gun that can one-shot like some vehicles and they shoot twice. So that or the Librarian. I mean, like, I'm kind of thinking the Apothecary more. Eradicators is less fuss. Oh, no. I have both of them. I have 10 Hellblasters and 3 Eradicators. And, also, for more anti-armor, I have a Landspeeder Typhoon and a Storm Raven with twin multi-melta, twin heavy plasma cannons. It's missiles that are strength 8, neg 3, 3 damage, and you get 2 of them per round. And Hurricane Bolters. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the Apothecary, because between both those units of infantry, like, that's a lot of, like, healing and resing that do a lot of damage per model. Like, per model, I mean, like, when supercharging, you're getting up to 6 damage per Hellblaster. Yeah. And, I am doing the, Selfless Healer Chief Apothecary, so he gets the reses for free and can heal 2 models per turn. So you can actually sit between both of them, and he will resurrect someone every single turn. Unless your stuff gets sniped, but when would that ever... Yeah, no, I'm the Raven Guard player. Like, I snipe people. People don't snipe me. Yeah, with the 9th edition Space Marine Codex that came out, where you can upgrade any of your any of your specialists to the chapter variant for a bunch of points, and then they get access to a special warlord trait and special relic for that. So like you have like the chapter master upgrade. Yeah. Right. So like Master Sanctity is your chaplain, and Master of the Forge is your tech marine, etc. So like a chief apothecary, you automatically get the ability at the end of your movement phase. This model can use his combat restoratives ability. It's heal D3 twice instead of once. So you still can only use it on one model, but effectively you can use it on 2 different units. So say, you know, I have it sitting next to the Hellblasters and the Eradicators. It can pop, you know, 2 wounds onto an Eradicator and a wound back onto a Hellblaster, or like a wound on the Shrike, or whatever. And then its selfless healer is that when it uses combat restoratives, the model being healed regains up to 3 lost wounds instead of D3, so always max healing. And then each time the warlord is selected to use the combat revival stratagem, its resurrection ability, it costs 0 command points, so it's free resing. Which is why for a long time, chief apothecaries were like auto takes. Yeah, right. I don't remember why they became not auto takes. I don't know if they got like a price increase or what, but like it fits in my list. Free 2 game changer. Yeah, so it's like it's free res. It's up to 5 resurrections per game. Like just as long as he's next to somebody with a dead unit, with a dead model. Which, because it's free, like it's just literally anyone that has a dead model nearby. Like he's just gonna get a free res if he's nearby. Like probably the hardest part in all this is just keeping him alive, because I'm using the firstborn version. So it's just like a tactical marine with 4 wounds and a bolt pistol and chainsword. But he is still a character, so like, you know, he can't get outright shot off the board unless someone is bringing snipers, which I can't foresee that in this. This is all for a local tournament, by the way. I'm the most, like, by far the most, like, snipey character, and, like, the one person that has a Gene Stealer army, I know he's not bringing Gene Stealers, so, yeah. There are a bunch of Necron players, but I don't think I've ever seen any of them take the sniper guys, because snipers just don't really make sense for, like, anyone except a Raven Guard. And even then, I haven't brought my Eliminators in, like, forever, because 9th edition doesn't really care about characters more often than not. Not like 8th edition. And I think it's because of the change to all of the secondaries. Like the secondaries really don't make, killing character. What is this track? What is this? Some weird ASMR unpacking a box? Oh, polishing shoes. Yeah, no. Let's move on. That's... Nah. What is this ping on my Discord? Ah. One of the people I occasionally watch stream just went on mine. That's all that was. Okay. Carry on. But, yeah, at the end of the day, here's the thing. I don't expect to win. Not by a long shot. I mean, we have like a Emperor's Children player, and a Tyranids player, and multiple Necron players. I don't expect to win. At least not, like, win a placement. My real game is actually just winning, Best Painted. Because I know there's a Best Painted award, and these are all like official GW tournament win cards. And I'm like, well, I'm adding a Best Painted to my tally, because that I know I can almost guaranteed win. Especially because I have like I have around a month still, and I'll probably be finishing this guy today. And I have 5 more VVs, the 3 Eradicators, and then the Storm Raven. Which, the Eradicators and Storm Raven really depend on how much I decide to convert them before I start painting them. Because I've been tribalizing a lot of my Raven Guard. Not all of them, necessarily. So, I do think I want to do some stuff to the Storm Raven. Want to get some chains going on there, maybe some hanging skulls, some feather bits, or hides. And I want to do I think I want to do at least one big freehand piece on it. I've not done a big vehicle freehand yet, and I think I'd like to try. Especially on stream, because why not? Add the pressure. OMG, I just found a way around my predicament, as my Chaos Lord model is a, quote, Mighty Lord of Khorne from AOS, has a Flesh Hound on a leash for real cool. That means I can say he's also in Terminator armor that's getting a combi. So within your player base, is there anyone who just happens to be impossible to beat all of the time? There's one in mind. Actually, there's this one kid. I say kid because he is like 7 years younger than me. Who's a Necron player, and he was bodying everybody like right after 9th came out when Necrons were really bad. And he was still bodying people that like they had armies that he had no right to like just like I've never beaten him. I've had like 4 or 5 games against him, and he has like completely destroyed me every single time. I have gotten better lists since then, but like the CP changes just removed the best list I've ever had, short of back in 8th when I had the super cheese list for a 1,000-point tournament that I ended early because after going through half the people, I had tabled 2 of them, and everyone else that watched was like, we can't touch this because it was a 1,000-point list in 8th edition when castles were good, and I had a Leviathan in it with a Chapter Master and a Tech Marine. So it's just like, and he was guarded by like Eliminators, Intercessors, Hellblasters. Like it was gross. It was such a gross list. Oh man, mine's a GSC player when I know it too. We have a Genestealer player. It's actually the store owner. He has a few different armies. He also has like a Blood Ravens and a Custodes list. I think he's bringing Custodes. But we have a famous story of in Crusade. I went against him with my Raven Guard, and it was the Assassinate mission from Crusade. So just kill the Defender's Warlord. He had an Alpha Jackal Prime or whatever, like the sniper on a bike. And I just set up my Eliminators, and just one round of the Eliminators alone shooting just nuked him immediately. So I won the game in like one shot. Insta win. Like, we spent more time setting up the terrain than we did actually playing the game. Yeah, it was the only shot I made was with the Eliminators, and the only casualty in the entire game was his Warlord. I mean, yeah, it's Raven Guard. Like, every single time I got the assassination mission, because we rolled on the missions based on our army size. And every single time assassination came up and I was the attacker, I won. Like, handedly. One time it was actually it was a Chaos, like it was a Nurgle Demon Prince. And I rolled up with like a Rhino, a Box Dread, and like Tactical Marines. And I just melted the crap out of them in 2 turns. Like, I walked up these Tactical Marines that had a Melta and a Multi-Melta, like, behind my Rhino, and then it just popped out and just blew them away, while the Dreadnought was just Distraction Carnifexing, who also had a Multi-Melta, so that really did not help things. No, most of the time in Crusade, I actually got bodied pretty hard, because Raven Guard just have not been good since the end of 8th, which was, like, their prime time of the last, like, decade. By like a good margin. I think I'm good for Corax White now for the edge highlight. So there's one player that actually legitimately has a lot of skill and experience The question is, which of his armies is he bringing? I think he's going to be bringing his Khorne, because Khorne's like kind of become reasonably good and he really likes his Khorne army. But if he brings his Dark Angels army, no one's beating him, because it's bloody Dark Angels. You can't kill the things. At 2k points, it's just going to be a whole crapload of Deathwing, and you won't be able to move them. He's also my primary painting competition too, but like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of his recent work. I'm not incredibly impressed. Probably the player I'm gonna have the most difficulty with is, yeah, probably one of those two guys. I'm not too worried about a lot of the others. A lot of the others are a lot more casual players. While I'm primarily a painter, I do try to know the competitive stuff, at least reasonably. My nid list, before I sold it all during 8th, I loved Hormagaunts, man, so much. I bought 180 of them. All, 180 of them. Oh, I brought 100, still, you had to buy them. You brought 180 of them all of the time, and then just swamped everyone with AP -2 claws and rerolls to hit on every single one of them. Disgusting. Disgusting. Just like, man, I wish the emotes had just got like work yet. I don't think they work. I don't even remember which. This, nope. They have not been added yet. I think I have to restart my stream. Till the blast rule came in, I was the devourer. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's basically. Oh yeah, blast, like, that's the only big concern with the giant block of Hellblasters coming in, is that it's 10 Hellblasters, so it does trigger blast. And they are just like intercessors for like stat line. I mean, you know, T4, 3 up, 2 wounds, armor, contempt. Now granted, if I can get them in a terrain piece, which, you know, with the ability to deep strike, I might just be able to do. I can get some bonuses at range, but like, I don't think the tables are gonna be that big that I'm gonna like reliably get any of my chapter tactic, because it sucks. Yeah, it's still good, but Grant, out in the open, there will be casualties. Yeah. Well, that's what I got the Chief Apothecary for. Oh yeah, also the Chief Apothecary gives stuff around him a 6 of Feel No Pain. I keep forgetting about that. That's like a big deal. Let me get the exact terms on that. Nathesium, Aura, while friendly chapter infantry or chapter biker unit is within 3 inches of this model, each time a model unit would lose a wound, roll 1d6. On a d6, that wound is not lost. Yeah, also does has a 3-inch 6 of Feel No Pain aura. Yeah, apothecaries are absurd. It's also because I'm using the firstborn one. As another special role, it doesn't count in this case, but like I've used it before in Crusades, because Crusades being narrative, it's fun. Command Squad. For each chapter company veterans unit included in a detachment, 1 chapter Command Squad Apothecary unit can be included at the detachment without taking up a battlefield slot, which is really big in Crusade when you still have a small army and you can only field patrols, because it takes a lot of resources to build up like your troops enough to do a battalion while still being able to actually fight games. Chaos Nehemiah like that, Fabulous Bill hardly touches that, maybe MOP, but still situational. There was a time where in Crusade I was running a patrol that was like almost entirely just a command squad, because the command squad rule is that if you have a captain in the list, you can have a company veterans unit which is 2 to 5 guys that can have like any weapons they want, just no jump packs. And you can mix and match the weapons like crazy. Like all mine have storm shields and combi gravs, and one guy has a grav cannon. It still counts as having a storm shield for some reason. You can only get the heavy weapon, one heavy weapon if you max out the squad, by the way. They have the bodyguard rule, so you can take only 2 of them, and they have the bodyguard. And if you take the company veterans, then you can take a firstborn apothecary, a company champion, which is the firstborn, and a company ancient, which is the firstborn, all of them don't take the battlefield slot. Like, you pay the points and everything for them, but you don't like, you still have as many elite slots as you had before, which was really funny in a patrol, because it would be like a captain, 5 tactical marines, and then a whole bunch, like a full command squad of like 5 veterans, an apothecary, an ancient, and a veteran, like in a drop pod, like just for funsies. Actually, you know what's hilarious? It sucked. Because patrol is so or like, you know, small games like under 1,000 point games are so absurdly swingy and balanced, and this is in Crusade, where you have all the crazy like potential buffs and upgrades and stuff that's just completely whack. It was actually awful. It pretty much never did anything like successfully, which was pretty funny. It was really funny, really fun to field. It felt very like the captain's off doing his own thing while the rest of his like company is doing some bigger battle, but like it was pretty bad on the table. Yeah, it's only really a narrative thing. If you could do it in a much larger game, that would make decent sense. But yeah, in like patrols, it's not good. Here's the biggest problem. If anyone showed up with anything remotely close to a dreadnought in that like 1,000 points, or, you know, 25 power level, you know, whatever it was, 25 power level, you were screwed. Like any significant amount of vehicles, it's like the strongest stuff you guys is grav, which like can do damage in bulk, but you got 4 combi gravs and a 4 combi gravs, a grav cannon, and whatever heavy weapon you brought with your tactical squad if you brought a heavy weapon. So for me, usually a multi-melta, which is like something, but it's also like in a 5-man tac squad, like you just shoot them with like anything. Man, I once pit that list up against like 25 power level of orcs. I mean, I don't. Did I even kill anything? I don't think I did. Like actually wipe out anything. I don't think I got a single like unit kill in that. It was just like 100 boys. Oh, and against Gene Stealers in narrative is like absolute garbage most of the time, because you're just gonna be going up against like 100 acolytes coming out of the side of the map with a whole bunch of buffs on their flamers that are crusade only. When the Leagues of Votann come out, my brother's spending 2k pounds off the bat just to have a personal army. I have to travel to Gibraltar to play him again, but would be well worth it. A story spans 7 years of pure lore. Wow. Yeah, I want to get into a crusade again. It's just hard because I don't have good transportation options right now, and my local game store is like 4 towns away from me. 3 towns away. Yeah, Crusade is great. I love Crusade. It's like a 35-40 minute drive with like decent traffic. in the bad traffic, because you're part of it is you're going from one side to the other of the capital city. So like if you end up in bad traffic, you are like stuck there for like a while. Oh yeah, you're over in Europe, so that's a oh, there is a bus route, but it would take me like an entire day to get up there because they're just the system's not great. Yeah, no, I have a couple busing stories of my own. Like one time it was dark, I was coming back from like pretty far away, so I was tired, so I got off on the wrong stop and I had to walk back to my house. Like it was like 4.5, 5 miles. That was pretty rough. 4.5, 5 miles like directly. I did like get slightly lost like twice in that span because it was going through areas that I wasn't like super familiar with in the process. Like it was a weird route that I wouldn't normally take otherwise. My legs at work were killing me the next day. Dear God, I forgot about that. I forgot about the aftermath. Like for reference, at the time I was working at a home goods running the furniture department. So like my job for like 8 hours was moving large pieces of furniture across the store and into people's cars and rugs. So like on my feet nonstop with like heavy objects. Look at where I am in Ipswich. I'm assuming you spelled that wrong, or maybe not. Ipswich? Eh. You have to skip 5 fields and 200 goats in the night with nothing but the moonlight. Oh man. Here it's all like suburban, but like weird, pretty well forested suburban, so you can't like see very far in any particular direction. Oh, okay. Just took me by surprise. Oh yeah, you're in the UK, so like time of travel doesn't necessarily mean anything to you. I forgot about that. Hold on, I can pull up Google Maps. Directions. So directly highway from me to it is 25.5 miles with the most direct route. Yeah. Yep. That's the best store in the area for actual games, and I've known some of the guys there since before our group moved to there. Because there was another hobby store before that closed like 4 or 5 years ago. We used to play there, and then we all like migrated that one. And for a while, like up until like about exactly a year ago, well, about 13 months ago, I used to live like a town and a half up from it, which was like half the distance. So that wasn't nearly as bad. But now that I'm down here, it's a whole nother game. Which like if I had my own vehicle, I would still go up there regularly. I'd make it happen. But and I did last year when I had a truck, but then the truck like basically snapped in half. I've not been able to replace it since. The frame like all but completely, well, snapped in half. Not even joking. Like it was torn. The frame was torn up to like the last like couple millimeters, like holding it together. My truck bed was actually impressing into my cab. So I'm like, well, that's a no. Just gonna sell that off for parts and, you know, get a motorbike manufacturer. Okay, so here's the thing. I live in Rhode Island, which has statistically the worst roads in the US, for the last like 40 odd years. Like, no joke. Like, the potholes here are so bad that, you literally get pulled over. Like, you can get pulled over, the cop assuming you must be drunk because you drove straight and did not try to, like, did not swerve all over the road trying to avoid potholes. Like, literally, like, driving straight is more likely to get you pulled over than driving curvy. Like, it's hilarious, but I'm not even joking. That's, like, a real thing here. It's like slightly over half of our roads are of our public roads are considered to be of technically poor quality by international standards, and about a quarter of our bridges are considered structurally deficient. So yeah, there are some people that ride motorcycles and like motorbikes and stuff, but like not that many, and those people are usually like extreme hobbyists. Yeah. Yep. And this is all partially because of like the weather, and everything up here, which you kind of know a little bit about, but I'm pretty sure we get a lot more snow than you guys do. So like it's all hills. Um, it's all hills in like a heavy snow area in the winter, so we have a lot of salt and always have the salt air going on. And we have a very wet season, which is not even the winter, by the way. The winter is like drier usually, except when it's snowing like crazy. It like last year, last year our summer was so wet that we had a joke, we had a meme rolling around on Facebook of I'm so grateful it's only rained twice this summer, once for 47 days and another time for 32. Like, it literally did not stop raining for weeks. Like, I think we had 2 non-raining days in June last year. It was June or July, something like that. Like, it was a whole month. Oh, yeah. So, like, yeah, you think about all of that liquid getting down, like, in the roads, and then later freezing in the winter. The roads just go to hell immediately. There was actually, oh yeah, there was another meme last year going around. I don't remember when exactly, but, we got a lot of memes about road construction. We got a long-standing joke, after this about our roads. There was a pothole so large, I want to say it was in, like, Western Rhode Island. There's a pothole so large that you could, a man could stand in the pothole and only his head was visible. It was, yeah, that one got circulated for a good while. There's also, we've had this joke for like 15 years now, that I've been hearing this joke. In Rhode Island, we have 4 seasons. Almost winter, winter, still winter, and road construction. Because, well, this year we didn't have consistent days over 50 degrees until May. And I'm expecting things to start cooling off in October. And the entire rest of the year, like, not after October and before May, is non-stop road construction to try to keep up with it. It's only 6 drownings. There must be something out there. Jeez. Yeah, we've had our share of floods here too. Although, because it's all hills, it's usually not that dangerous. Like, I have never not lived on a hill. Except the one time I lived next to a lake, actually. Fortunately, did not get flooding while I lived there, but that house did have severe flooding damage from previously. We've had, like, entire shopping malls, like, permanently closed down after severe flooding damage before. Like, that's occurred, because they were built in, like, a low geographical area. Not even by a lot, like, just enough to get completely flooded out. Yeah. Yep, that took, like, a Macy's, what else was there? I remember the Macy's. This was over a decade ago. But, like, yeah, like, major corporation stores. Like, these weren't small stores. And they were just gone. Like, overnight from a, it was like a mini Katrina situation where, like, a big hurricane came in and just, like, sat around for a couple of days. And yeah, it was non-stop downpour. During part of it, me and my family actually had to drive through it at one point, and the water was like above the bottom seals of the doors in the car we were in. It's just like, oh man, can we get home already? Because this is no bueno. I have lost track entirely of where I have highlighted and where I have not. Is there anything even left on this thing that I have to well, there doesn't seem to be much on this elbow here. Like it's some, but not enough. So yeah, Rhode Island's kind of nuts. Yeah, my truck, my first vehicle lasted 4 months because of just, it wasn't new, of course. It was actually fairly old, but it was cheap. Lasted 4 months, and then the frame just collapsed. Pretty rough. All right, I think we're good to do the claws. Once lost, what? Sounds like a drunk, but one day I'll teach you how to pronounce Welsh stuff. I mean, I understand the like situation because we have like a bunch of Native American names for our locations here. So like you go from like Providence, which is like English word, right? And then you have or like Cumberland, right? Or Lincoln, right? And then you have Pawtucket. What's the name of that beach? I just had in my brain, and my brain dropped it. Pasquamaket. Pasquamaket Beach. Don't ask me to spell that. Pasquamaket Beach. And where's some of the other ones? Yeah, I remember some of the other like wacky names around here. Narragansett, Woonsocket, Matnuknet, Nantic. Oh, I didn't know Cranston was one. This is just, I've always lived near Cranston, so I just thought it was whatever. Yeah. Yeah, no, Musquamaket, hold on, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in chat. It's actually a famous beach, in Rhode Island. I've been there a number of times. It's amazing. Great eating there too. Real good like beachside locales and stuff. LL and Welsh sounds like putting a tongue in a Ruthie Mountain and blowing. Yeah, I know. Almost like a. So like. Feshinog and cram. Yeah, no. Clan. This is awful. Screw Welsh. I'm out. That's it on the second one. Wait, are you saying I'm close? Clanrumney? Oh. Veshinog. Veshinog? Veshinog! No, it's not. It's probably not a good. It's not even a Welsh. Oh, I got that right. Clamnery. Clanrumney. That's such an awful word. That's disgusting. I'm just like, thanks. I hate it. Like, I don't mean to be. I don't even know if I can be racist because I'm pretty sure I have Welsh in me, but like, I don't. It's like, I'll stick with Musquamaket, Narragansett, and in Pawtucket. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually like mostly ethnically English myself, with some Scotch Irish in there and some French. So like, actually, fun fact about that: on my mother's side, we can trace the lineage back to one of the captains of the first colony ships to the Massachusetts Bay Colony. So like, I am as white American as you can possibly get, basically. Short of like Jamestown. Alright, right, the blades. Do the blades. Do I want a new sheet on my web palette? Because I was kind of messy with this one. Just kind of spread like a couple colors all over the place. Sure, probably. Let's do it. You know, there's like crap load of like bronze on there for some reason. Blech. Sent in from Ulysses S. Grant. That was with General Custer's last stand as far as my American heritage go. Oh, crap. Dude, Grant was pretty cool, actually. As a fellow whiskey drinker, I have respect for the man. Like, American Civil War? Yeah, I'd be with a bottle of whiskey, just like deadpan looking everyone in the face. Be like, no, you do this, and then we win. Just shut up. My head hurts. I can totally feel that. Yo, I actually know a bunch of people from England that none of which actually have much in the way of English heritage, and that hilariously I have more English blood than they do. I don't know what's up with that, but it's just I've noticed it over the past like 6 years. Like every person I meet from England, it's just like, wow, how's that work? Listen, Grant's whiskey, yeah, my Uncle William is now dead, but we got his whiskey giving us one bottle here. Oh yeah, Grant had a big drinking problem. That's actually why he wasn't the main general way before that, but it was because everyone thought he'd be consistently impaired by the fact he drank like crazy, like so much whiskey. But yeah, then they finally had to give it to him, and he just, you know, started winning stuff like left and right. There's look up like oversimplified's videos on the American Civil War. They're absolutely hilarious and really go into some detail about that. Alright, how do I do this again? Oh yeah. Cantor Blue. Cantor Blue is my start. Yeah, oversimplified's amazing. I'm a huge like history guy, and like their videos are absolutely awesome. I've seen a bunch of them a bunch of times because I keep watching reactions of other people watching them for the first time, especially like foreigners on on American history, which is always like really fascinating. Like especially like the American Revolution, like yeah, like watching English. I sport a mohawk as it happens, so I used to sport a mohawk, like no joke. I used to dye it too. At one point I was helping run this get it back to now that I got the long hair. I love the long hair, and like I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Not to mention this took me like 3 to nearly 4 years to grow. And like I'm starting to thin out, so I'm scared if I get rid of it I'll never get back like this. Like I've got the hair that everyone used to be wearing wigs to like wish they have. Oh, dreads are cool, man. So yeah, one time I was helping run a tie-dye fair at like this like mini Woodstock event. So I took my mohawk, and it was pretty long at that point. So I had my mohawk go up to like here with like appropriate spray and stuff. And my girlfriend at the time and I like dyed it like full rainbow, like red all the way to purple in the back, with like actually like even color bands going all the way back. It was like the perfect rainbow mohawk. Occupy Wall Street dreads. Oh man. Occupy Wall Street was nuts. I remember watching that like like the live streams like daily back when that was happening. I was so into that. I mean, I'm still pretty interested in politics, but like politics and economics. But yeah, those were days when you thought the revolution was around the corner. Not so much anymore. Let's see, I need some flow improver here. Big trick, you want good control over your paints? Get some flow improver. It'll thin it while also removing all of the surface tension. So it doesn't do that water thing where it grabs onto stuff and collects. It goes exactly where you put it. Although if you make it too liquidy, it will like flow around. Like it won't surface tension and stuff, but it will like flow around like water basically. I have been sent an image. Let's see this. Oh wow, this thing's cool. Also, you get a follow. That dread is impressive. You look great. The whole getup, it's so punk. I love it. I used to be so punk myself, jeez. Then I became like a standard nerd again. I was a standard nerd and then a punk for a while and then standard nerd again. I think it was because I think it was helped that I like just moved out to my parents and in with my girlfriend at the time, and she was also like pretty punky. Like she was a punk hippie mixture. Although you can still actually kind of see a little bit of the punk come out in some of my shirt designs, not gonna lie. Like the first shirt design I made was on just a plain colored t-shirt, just the phrase, my shirt's less boring than yours. Just because I wanted to throw some attitude out about people wearing like really boring clothing. And just in time for that story, like all my timers go off. Yeah, I did come across that earlier. Oh, what, my, the t-shirt or the attitude? Oh, my merch? Oh, okay. I still got some more designs I haven't put up there yet, and I got some more ideas. I just haven't, like, gotten around to making them yet. Oh, thanks, man. It actually feels good to have them on my commission site. I used to have like an Etsy store and an Amazon store, and they were like their own brand. It was under That Crude Gamer. But the Etsy screwed me over like Christmas week, so I dropped them, and then Amazon was charging me like $50 a month to like not even sell anything, and because just being on Amazon wasn't getting me the traffic I needed, like make it worth it, so I kind of stopped for a few months. But now that I'm live streaming this, so I can like more proactively drive traffic directly to that website, makes more sense, and it just feels better. All under one umbrella too. The little pleasures of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur slash artist, if I may be so. What do you call it? Presumptuous to call myself an artist. Yeah, looks about right. It's dead and gone now, but those were my designs. Let's see. Wow, these are pretty cool. Yeah, very, very punkish. Quickly charging in your face. Yeah, I've thought about going that way because I'm like that too. There are some political discords I'm in where I'm very active in. We will continue to break the law and destroy property until we win. Wow. So like, yeah. So yeah, I mean it's right now it's just you and me in it, so I'm like, screw it. I'll get into the weeds. Jump in the trenches here. So I'm a libertarian. Have been for many years. Like in ideal circumstances, I would be an anarcho-capitalist, but I don't see that realistically happening. So pragmatically, I'm a libertarian. I'm kind of just always trying to push for American politics to just reduce government size, reduce government ability to do most anything. Ideally, I'd like to say, government, you can. I want you to secure my contracts and secure my borders. Otherwise, get out of my way. Especially the federal government. But I'm also very capitalistic. Like economically, I think capitalism is the way to go, and capitalism is not what we have now. What we have now is like a corporatist. Well, it's like a corporatocracy, which is like reverse economic fascism, in the sense that like it's the collusion of government and market powers, but the power is coming from the market instead of the government, like it was in say Mussolini's Italy. Like there's no capital anymore; it's all debt. Like modern economic systems, it's 100% debt. It's that there is no capital anymore. Like all of the wealth these mega corporations have is not in products and services anymore. It's in the belief in their value by their investors. It's the human to have a mate who's an ANCAP, even though it confuses the crap out of you. I was about to say, man. So, and the idea of ANCAP is just like get the government out of the way and let the free market do its thing, because the free market self-regulates pretty well because of just like the laws of the jungle. Like you achieve what you have the ability to achieve by providing goods and services to others at a quality and price range that they believe is of appropriate value. And you have constant competition driving changes and improvements in the market to whoever can do it the most efficiently. What was the next thing I was going to say? I just lost it. And you beat your competition by just doing things more efficiently. But that doesn't mean less humanely, because you also have your reputation to deal with. What we have now with corporations going nuts, which corporations can only exist because of government, because it's a legal tax structure. As someone that started a lot of businesses, I've literally dealt with this myself. LLCs and C corps and S corps and etc. The only difference between an LLC, which is a limited liability company, and an S corp is paperwork. But an S corp, for example, has all kinds of these massive benefits on both taxes and legal protections, as well as when you go public. It's a company whose primary value is the belief in its value by the people trading on Wall Street, which can be the average person, and like that in theory should be okay. But the real wealth is all in these giant whales. And it's come to a point where it's created a vicious cycle today of where these mega corporations have bought and paid for, say in America, swaths of Congress and the Senate and the House of Representatives and everything, with lobbying, which is, you know, legal for some reason. Not to mention a lot of politicians and like board of director people are constantly just swapping positions. Like someone will go into Congress, get into Congress as a congressperson, and then leave and then immediately become a board of director in some giant like corporation. Constantly, and that's on top of them like buying and owning all the regulation services like the FDA and stuff like that. I mean, just look at like the whole seriously, look at the COVID situation. We turned around and put out a vaccine in 9 months. Vaccine creation normally takes 10 to 15 years. And the companies that made it were given immunity to lawsuits by the federal government. What is that? What is that? Who thought that was a good idea? That's just so many red flags on so many levels. Dear God. It's awful. Like zero accountability on so many levels, because the government's created the corporations, took the dollar off the gold standard, so inflation came in, so everything became debt-based, while people that were rich, the inflation helped their this is Baja Blue. Actually, a little bit Baja Blue isn't a bad thing. We can throw that in, but that's not what I want. So think about inflation, right? When you have someone that's rich, like wealthy people, they don't work for money. They work for assets. Assets are anything that inherently creates a cash flow for you just by existing, right? That's all an asset is. So like a piece of property or a business that makes some kind of passive income for you is financially considered an asset. So how the game works now is you'll use financing, debt, to acquire assets and use the assets to pay off the debt, and you collect the leftover money. When you have inflation, though, and you have two types of people, then you have the people that are working normal jobs for money, and as inflation goes up and goes on over time, their buying power on their dollars goes down. The rich people, or the people playing the debt game, will, let's say, get $1 million loan in 1990, get a piece of property that, say, generates $10,000 revenue a month, let's say. It's just completely made up numbers. And then by the year 2000, inflation has dropped the value of that original $1 million loan down to more like $850,000 without paying it off or anything. Just like the actual original value of the debt has gone down to like what would be in 1990s money, $850,000, while the inflation causing prices to rise has taken $10,000 a month and turned it into $15,000 a month. So it's a constant invisible wealth transfer from the poor to the rich just by everyone doing business as normal. And this is only can be possible because the government, well, specifically in the U.S., Nixon back in 1971 or 72, I want to say 71, took the dollar off the gold standard. So the amount of inflation was very controlled before, because you couldn't print more money than you could than would move its value off the value of gold. Because at any point you could take your dollars and go to a bank and get it returned to you for gold. The original point was, at least that this is what Nixon said, was because there was France was making a bunch of moves to get just really start stockpiling like U.S. gold in particular. Like it was really like the international markets were getting like really messed with, and he was like, "Oh, we'll fix this in like a single document where we remove the gold standard, and we promise we'll put it back." Yeah, that never happened. So now all of U.S.'s debt has gone up massively. Inflation has never significantly gone down except in the recessions, which, by the way, now that it's all inflation based, we're required to have recessions to correct inflation as well as market bubbles, which comes from this massive debt economy. Do let me know when I've like being this to death. But this is something I've studied a lot of. This is what everything really comes back to is markets. Politics is all about markets. Everything's economics. And the people that know how it actually works are the people that run everything. It's good, man. It's still listening as I'm genuinely interested. Okay, yeah, just making sure the was for the how bad the situation is, not the rambling. So like the average person can't put this to work for them, and I'm trying myself. It's not easy to get into. With real estate, for example, real estate's probably the most reliable method. We're literally like the same thing. You figure out the financing to majority or completely finance like a rental property, where the rental property pays the payments and interest for your financing, and you still get leftover money, as well as paying for its maintenance and taxes and everything else. Like it's actually it's actually reasonably complex to underwrite a property correctly, but besides the point. If you get a large enough rental property, like I personally don't look at anything with under 4 units in a deal. So four apartments or whatever, 4 doors. Because above that's where the efficiency makes it like worthwhile. It's just hard to get people to to give you the money for that, even when you show them that all the numbers work, because of lack of experience. But it's you just keep shooting at it until it works. But yeah, that's how the game works now, and everyone can play it. But it's all about using debt to acquire assets that are able to pay off their own debt and pay you. That's like the entire system, and that's why you have investment groups that rule the entire planet. Like, you want the real people in power, you look at BlackRock or Vanguard or Monsanto, or I know Monsanto's mainly agriculture, but they do other stuff. And like I just read a thing earlier today that in 2014 Ukraine wanted to borrow a bunch of money from the IMF, from the World Bank, and it was on the premise that they allow private ownership of land. And within 1 year, Vanguard, BlackRock, and Monsanto had bought 70% of the farmland in Ukraine. Like, that's absurd. That's insane. That's not great. So where I've come to at this point, yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So at this point, I've come to the point where like I don't believe politics or like political systems can solve this at this point. We need economic and primarily technological movements at this point to break this up, which is basically removing a lot of the power from like the bottom level up of a lot of these corporations, which is like through just the core resources people require to live. So for example, one of the biggest things I try to push, and like one of my long-term plans, is to get through real estate wealthy enough to like actually invest in like the development of these techs, is like, for example, nuclear power. Because the biggest thing stopping nuclear power is actually public perception and government funding, or just funding in general. we still primarily use fossil fuels for like everything, but they're inefficient, and that's why you have to like pay for electricity. If we had there is a point in number and efficiency of nuclear power plants that electricity would effectively become like free, because it would cost like negligible to like create like any at all. Like we'd have it like everywhere, more or less. And that removes a lot of power from a lot of people's, a lot of like top people's hands, while putting a lot of power in the individual's hands. I mean, imagine, like for example, with like 3D printing, right? So like, we know how to scientifically how to print things on like an atomic level, molecular and an atomic level. It just requires a lot of power to do so, which is why we don't do it all the time. Imagine if we had a lot of power available at any given time. Like, space age, how fast? Which, that's the next one. The, like, super raw resources, like minerals and metals, there's massive amounts of it very close to the Earth. That's just about figuring out how to make it cheaper to move it, to go up there and move it down here than it is to get it out of the ground. And once we have that, we have like near limitless raw resources. Yeah, would be ace, right? Near limitless like super raw resources. The most used raw resource at that point that we'd be struggling with is wood, which is actually funny. There was like this really like shoddy B movie sci-fi I watched like as a teenager. That was really goofy. That would, like, the whole premise was aliens invaded Earth and enslaved humanity to make them harvest wood, because they really liked wood, but they had no wood left on their planet, so they came here for our trees. Which actually is probably one of the more realistic like stories of why aliens would invade Earth. Because whole non-biological raw resources are super abundant in space. You want water everywhere in ice. You want methane everywhere. You want iron. Like every single like floating rock has iron in it. Like crazy. Gold up there too. Like we found there's a plant out there that's like 95% diamond. Like just crush the diamond market with inflation instantly upon like being able to reach that thing. And I'm not even joking, look that up. There's a plant that's like almost entirely diamond. Which, by the way, diamond's a whole bunch of carbon, so if we're able to get to the point where we can deconstruct things to like a molecular level, there's a crap load of carbon, or atomic level, or you know, whatever, the elemental level. There's just like a ton of carbon just hanging out there in a super dense, super efficient form. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Right, so, yeah, just a few of these texts. We need, a few of these texts, like, right now, like, primarily in energy production, food production, to, like, in a way that, like, just throwing money at the problem won't keep the power in the hands of those that control everything right now. Politics, you can't do it because they control everything. In the U.S., every single U.S. president that has gone against the national bank of the time has either had an assassination attempt or been assassinated. And by the way, every single assassination attempt or successful assassination in U.S. history has been exactly those cases. Lincoln refused to take loans to pay his Civil war debts from, I want to say, the second U.S. national bank. Kennedy was trying to get rid of the CIA and the Federal Reserve when he got shot. Reagan was moving against the Federal Reserve and he got shot, survived, and 180'd all of his policies. Oh yeah, have a good one. It was great talking to you. Hope to see you again, son. Oh yeah, no, seriously. It's US history is nuts like that. And a lot of people call me conspiracy theorist for saying that, and I'm like, you just have to read a wiki page and like line this up. Like, it's not hard. This is very apparent. Yeah, man. Drop by anytime. You know, um, if you jump on my Instagram, there's a post there with my full schedules. Well, actually, my schedule's on the Twitch profile too. Yeah, have a good one. Hope to see you around soon. What okay. I need more Lothran blue in the middle. Just waiting for this to dry. I'll assess if it's done or not, or it needs some more. If it's done or needs some more layers. Honestly, it's really close. Could do it some more blending on that top one. I should get the focus back on me. Oh, how do I get There we go. I'm now attempting to use the camera to paint down here. Okay, screw it. Really hard to see. Man, sometimes the cork method really works against me. But most of the time it's worth it. Now we're past the it's not going as smoothly as the last one. Last one I came together like immediately. Not entirely sure why. And I was gonna use this claw for like lightning claw tutorial, but man, this was gone rough. I'm also thinking about moving my streams an hour earlier in the day. Like my first stream, an hour earlier. Like I've been waking up earlier, and what do you call it? I've been waking up earlier, and like around like 4:30 ish, the English traffic, the British traffic, dies down, and like trickles off to nothing, and I'm always like really tired and hungry the whole time, and it's doesn't seem to be worth it. Alright, I'm gonna pop some white out, start to clean up. When I'm done, it's totally dry. I'm gonna do the highlights on and call this claw done. I'm tired of this nonsense. now with the highlights on it, looks pretty good. Alright, I'm calling that one done. Our progress thus far looking pretty good. After shield arm, shoulder, and really full arm of the wrist. That's where I left off yesterday. Hitting on my downtime. Try to brush these feathers a little bit here. There's still worthwhile paint left over on this brush. Not a whole lot. Hold on that. Move over to blue ink. Getting pinged in something. Where is this ping? Oh boy. Alright, I'll get to that stuff later. I thought it was actually important. It was just memery. Ridiculous memery. It's kind of a cool beat. Next gonna be gunmetal. Oh boy, out of water. Fortunately, there's only 35 minutes left in the stream, so I think I'll survive. I think. Never know. Well, let's try and let's do the trim on the shoulder and the icon. Ugh. Alright, so I don't really see anyone further coming in right now. And at this point, it's just dragging down my average viewer percentage. I think I'm gonna end a half hour early anyway, because I'm like feeling really tired. I need to get some food. Put up that tutorial. The tutorial will go up soon. And we will start back up at 7 in 2 hours. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.